elected to damnation. And so, we need to seek guidance, God's will. Seek the wisdom, the knowledge that God has brought forth to you through the apostles, prophets, patriarchs, preachers and teachers and evangelists and deacons of the world. And wisdom from the elect. And especially to seek the ultimate wisdom and knowledge, restoration, renewal, revival, recovery. Recovery of the very, very elect. The seed of Christ is the seed of God's redemption, restoration, renewal, and transformation. And to crush the enemies of God through the systematic preaching and teaching through God's elect and very elect. And so we must seek guidance and play our role in God's elected plan of the gospel to the world, from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south. Passage of scriptures, following passages of Romans chapter 1 talks about God's providence, divine decree, and the total depravity of man in the world today, and continues on as a root and seed of tares, the unbelieving, the Kenites. So the period, God's unfolding, and it talks about God's unfolding plan of redemption. Redemption. By one's free will of choice. As I was saying earlier, in the beginning, God put in all the atoms, sixth-day creation, the eighth-day creation, God's moral and civil law and the other laws in his heart. Made a covenant of works. And God said, if you don't eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you will not die, but you shall live. But God gave the atoms, the potential to do evil, and by their free will choice, they actualized their sin into existence, and God foreordained it. God foreordained some to damnation and some to salvation. More to salvation than not. even though God foreordained it, the eternal decree, divine decree, He ordained it. He consummated people's choices, some to damnation and some to light, throughout the unfolding plan of history, of God's redemption, good news, and so forth. So the reality is, brothers and sisters, you are, by this chapter, incapable of doing anything different in your life. You are totally deprived. And what image of God is left in you is defamed from descending from the original corruption, from the seed of the corruption of the Adams. And so you are incapable. You know about God's righteousness. You know about His truth. You know His moral and law. You know His civil law. You know that God created the world. You know all these things. And in some respect you try to do the right thing. But the reality is you are incapable. You're a slave to the devil, sin, and damnation.